Today we'll explore a case where the perpetrator's meticulous planning led police to a dead end in their investigation, causing unexpected twists in the case. Notably, this case ultimately led to direct amendments to Taiwan's criminal law. What kind of case could have such a significant impact? Let's dive in with Crime Documentary Files. The main character in this case is Chen Naomi, a famous internet model in Taiwan. She was born in Dongshan Township, Yilan County. She has a twin sister named Chen Xialing. Both were stunningly beautiful. The elder sister, Chen Xialing, was often interviewed by the media and was dubbed Taiwan's most beautiful jewelry store employee. In 2017, leveraging their attractive appearances and large social media followings, the sisters moved from Yilan County to Taipei City. They rented a house in the outskirts of New Taipei City and began their careers as internet celebrities, doing photo shoots, game endorsements, and more, hoping to build their own careers. At around 10:30 a.m. on March 1, 2017, Chen Naomi carefully put on her makeup at home and went out. Due to her busy daily schedule, mostly consisting of outdoor photo shoots, her sister didn't pay much attention and just said goodbye as Naomi left. But by early the next morning, despite dozens of phone calls, Chen Xialing still couldn't reach her sister. Until she received a text message saying, "I'm fine," Chen Xialing felt something was off. This seemingly normal message was actually quite unusual, because her sister didn't use Chinese characters, but English phonetic spelling instead. In Taiwan, people often use both Chinese characters and English phonetic spelling when texting. However, Chen Xialing knew her sister never used English phonetic spelling, considering it pretentious. But this time, her reply was completely out of character. Chen Xialing immediately asked, "Where are you?" But the other party kept evading the question. Perhaps due to twin intuition, Chen Xialing immediately went to the nearest police station to report her sister missing. The police quickly traced Chen Naomi's phone, but the location showed neither New Taipei City nor Taipei, but Taichung City, over 60 miles to the south. Upon learning this, Chen Xialing and her boyfriend drove through the night to Taichung to search for her sister, continuously calling to inquire about her whereabouts. Finally, they got some information from her friends. They said she had gone for an outdoor photo shoot with a photographer introduced by her close friend, Liang Sihui. This photographer was Liang Sihui's boyfriend, named Chung Yu. The police interrogated these two, but Liang Sihui consistently denied meeting Chen Naomi and claimed she didn't know her whereabouts. After several rounds of questioning, Liang told the police that Chen Naomi might be with a clothing manufacturer, but she couldn't say who. Later she provided several phone numbers for Chen Xialing to contact, but strangely none of them could be reached. At this point, Liang Sihui was continuously questioned by Chen Naomi's family and friends. Feeling frustrated and wronged, around 8 a.m. the next day, she posted on social media complaining that the most absurd thing in her life was being accused of kidnapping Chen Naomi. However, Chen Xialing became increasingly certain of her suspicions about Liang Sihui, because in many text messages, Liang Sihui used English phonetic spelling very similar to the message she had received from her sister's phone. Initially, on the morning of March 1st, Chen Naomi was still chatting normally in the work group, but by noon, English phonetic spelling started appearing. They suspected that it was Liang Sihui using Chen Naomi's phone to send messages. In Taiwan, people often use both Chinese characters and English phonetic spelling when texting. However, Chen Xialing knew her sister never used English phonetic spelling, considering it pretentious. But this time her reply was completely out of character. Moreover, although Liang Sihui and Chen Naomi appeared to be close friends on social media, Liang consistently misspelled Chen Naomi's name. Internet users questioned their friendship, wondering how someone could be so close yet unable to spell their best friend's name correctly. Unable to contact her sister, Chen Xialing spent a sleepless night. Unexpectedly, at 8:10 a.m. the next morning, her sister's phone suddenly connected. However, the voice on the other end was that of an unfamiliar man. He claimed to be an employee of the 5-star Evergreen Laurel Hotel in Taichung, saying he had found the phone in a storage room and was about to report it to the police when the call came through. Worried about her sister, Chen Xialing hadn't bathed or slept for 2 days. She even posted online expressing, I don't want to live your share of life. I just want you to live with me. This call ignited a glimmer of hope for Chen Cheling. She rushed to the hotel to confirm the situation and immediately reported to the Taichung police. While waiting for the police to arrive, she tried to persuade the hotel manager to let her search for her sister, but was refused due to guest privacy concerns. Later, the Taichung police negotiated with the hotel management and finally obtained information about recent guests. Surprisingly, the guest list included Liang Sihui and her boyfriend Cheng Yu. Previously, this supposed best friend had claimed she knew nothing about Chen Naomi's whereabouts. How would she explain this now? After obtaining this list, the police searched room 1122 where the couple had stayed. In the bathroom trash can, they found Chen Naomi's transit card, credit card, ID, keys, and other personal belongings. Moreover, hotel security footage showed that at 2:39 a.m. on March 2nd, Cheng Yu had left the hotel room alone and entered a storage room on the same floor. Clearly, he was inextricably linked to this incident. The investigation revealed that Liang Sihui had no criminal record, while Cheng Yu was a wanted suspect in a rape case by Taipei police. He also had multiple fraud and assault convictions. Despite his extensive criminal history, he had never killed anyone. The police, still hoping Chen Naomi might be alive, arrested both for interrogation. Cheng Yu claimed that during the daytime photo shoot, Chen Naomi had argued with her boyfriend and, feeling upset, wanted to go out alone to clear her head. He said he didn't know where she went. However, when police questioned Chen Naomi's boyfriend, he stated their relationship was harmonious and they had no conflicts. Later, Cheng Yu changed his story, saying that after the daytime shoot, Chen Naomi was taken away by a photographer named Jiang Xin, who was in the Zhonghe district of New Taipei City. He claimed he had only taken her forgotten handbag. Police from Taichung and New Taipei quickly coordinated, even driving the suspect north for confrontation. But they discovered this person wasn't a photographer at all, but a friend who had once helped Cheng Yu. Moreover, he wasn't even in Taiwan, having been in Hangzhou for over 2 months. As time ticked by, the leads kept breaking down. Cheng Yu's credibility was severely compromised. In a media interview, Chen Naomi's father revealed that his daughter was too trusting. He never imagined she would encounter trouble just months after moving to Taipei to pursue her career. Her mother, unable to hide her grief, said her daughter had appeared in a dream, saying she was in a very dark place, scared, and wanting her family to bring her home soon. To find Chen Naomi's whereabouts as soon as possible, the police changed their interrogation tactics with Cheng Yu, attempting to break through his psychological defenses. Initially, they tried to persuade him to confess quickly by offering reduced sentences, but he remained unmoved. Left with no choice, the police began describing eerie details from past cases to shake his resolve. As it neared midnight, the police had a sudden idea and said, "Perhaps Chen Naomi is no longer in this world. After midnight, her wronged spirit will come to find you." By this time, it was pitch dark, and with the earlier ghost stories, Cheng Yu finally broke down. Following his directions, the police arrived at the Wangxiang building in Nangang, Taipei. In a dark, abandoned underground mall, they found the victim's body. Behind a large wooden board, Chen Naomi lay on the floor, her face swollen and red, a belt around her neck, barefoot, with her underwear only loosely covering her. Seeing this tragic scene, the police at the scene were heartbroken. Cheng Yu confessed that he and Liang Sihui had jointly invited Chen Naomi out. Afterwards, they fled to Taichung and checked into a hotel. He also accused Liang Sihui of being the mastermind, claiming he was only following her instructions. When Liang Sihui heard that Chen Naomi had been killed, she screamed, "How could this happen?" She repeatedly muttered in disbelief. But when she heard Cheng Yu accusing her of being the mastermind, she became unusually calm and passive, either saying she didn't know or asking the police, "Don't you know how to investigate?" Based on the evidence at the crime scene, a renowned forensic expert made some deductions about the case. He suggested that the victim's underwear had been discarded. If Liang Sihui had been present at the scene, she might have redressed Chen Naomi out of friendship. Additionally, the body showed signs of being dragged. If Liang had been there, she could have helped Chung Yu move the body instead of him having to drag it alone. Regarding this, Chung Yu stated that Liang Sihui had claimed Chen Naomi had cyberbullied her, so she asked for his help in revenge. During the strangulation and rape, Chen Naomi regained consciousness once and started screaming. Liang allegedly hit her head with a flashlight and told Chung Yu to use the handbag strap to strangle her. Unexpectedly, due to excessive force, the victim died of asphyxiation. Chung Yu recounted that Liang Sihui was present throughout the entire process, including the initial meeting and dragging the body. At the crime scene, Chen Naomi's underwear was also discarded by her. For a dark underground mall like this, it would be difficult for any girl to come alone with a strange man. But if two girls came together, it would indeed increase the feasibility of the plan. From this perspective, Liang Sihui seemed incredibly cruel, disregarding their friendship and not even leaving the victim with a final shred of dignity. So, who exactly was this Liang Sihui? Liang Sihui, born in Nangang District, Taipei City, was 22 years old in 2010 when she met and became close friends with Chen Naomi. Her father was a retired police officer originally from Guangdong province. He had divorced when younger, leaving a child with his ex-wife. After retirement, he met and married Liang Sihui's mother, and they moved to Taiwan together, where Liang Sihui and her sister were born. Her father had a generous pension, and her mother ran a pastry business, allowing the family to live comfortably. Neighbors knew the family had two beautiful daughters, but noted that the elder daughter, Liang Sihui, didn't like studying. At the time of the incident, she had been expelled from Lingdong University of Science and Technology for failing to register on time. Neighbors also mentioned that the mother-daughter relationship was strained, with frequent arguments heard from their home. Additionally, Liang Sihui's private life was controversial. Some insiders revealed she had worked in the grey industry of hotels. In 2015, she dated a famous Taiwanese blogger, but their relationship was unhappy. After breaking up, they often attacked each other online. Netizens pointed out that this relationship might have sown the seeds of enmity between her and Chen Naomi. However, Liang's manager denied this. 2 years later, Liang Sihui met a new boyfriend and began living with him. This boyfriend was said to be the son of an executive from the luxury brand Cartier, with an impressive background. He even claimed to be a famous photographer nominated for the Pulitzer Prize. This person was Chung Yu, the main character in this case. The once loving couple now turned against each other after the incident. Faced with this situation, the police could only continue searching for clues. In the surveillance footage from a convenience store near the crime scene, police discovered some crucial evidence. At 11:46 a.m. on March 1st, a woman wearing a grey coat and hat entered the store. Chung Yu identified this woman as Chen Naomi. The footage showed that 2 minutes later, another woman in black and Chung Yu also entered. At 12:26 p.m., the two went towards the Wangxiang building. Chung Yu claimed the woman with him was Liang Sihui, while Chen Naomi entered from another side door of the building. Police checked the corresponding building surveillance and indeed saw this woman entering the building. On March 4th, after interrogation, the prosecutor's office determined that the couple, Liang and Chung, were suspected of serious crimes including robbery, rape, and murder, with a risk of fleeing or destroying evidence. They immediately submitted a request to the court for their arrest. Although Liang Sihui insisted she wasn't the woman in the surveillance footage and claimed she was at home at the time, there was no one to corroborate her story, so she remained highly suspect. Consequently, the court ordered both to be detained at the Tucheng Detention Center. The news of Liang Sihui being suspected of murder shocked her neighbors. Her father, in his 80s, had recently passed away from a heart attack, with the funeral ending less than a month ago. Everyone wondered how such a beautiful young girl could be so ruthless. Public opinion was in uproar, and Liang Sihui faced severe moral condemnation. However, unexpectedly, as more suspicious points about Chung Yu were exposed, the case took a major unexpected turn. Remember the photographer Zhang Xin mentioned earlier? His real name was Zhang Long Yu, originally a nightclub MC. He took to social media to clarify Chung Yu's previous blame-shifting behavior and expose his true nature. Zhang Longyu said that Chung Yu claimed to be from a wealthy family, but whenever he said he'd take people to his home, he'd either deliberately drive the wrong way or say he forgot his keys. When going out, he wouldn't bring cash, only an American black card, and when it came time to pay, he'd make excuses that the card couldn't be used there and ask friends to cover the bill. However, according to reports, the luxury car keys and black card he flaunted were fake models bought online. Moreover, he often pretended to be an agent to lure Instagram models out for photo shoots with malicious intent. Zhang Longyu couldn't stand it and would advise against it whenever he discovered this behavior. When his identity was exposed, Chung Yu would lie on the living room floor begging to be taken in. Some of the victims' friends revealed that Chung Yu had been warned by them several times for fraud years ago, but unexpectedly, he never reformed and eventually committed murder. During the investigation of this case, the Nongang police's description of Chung Yu was shocking. In just half a year, he had committed 2 rapes. Astonishingly, one of these previous incidents occurred at the same crime scene, the basement of the Wangxiang building, where he had sexually assaulted another victim. According to the investigation, his real name was Gaoting Yu. His parents divorced when he was 9 years old. From a young age, he had a habit of petty theft. His mother constantly had to clean up after his mistakes and often asked the police to educate him. She even moved house 3 times and changed his name to Chung Yu in hopes that her son would reform. However, his mother's efforts had little effect, and the son's path became increasingly wayward. According to Taiwanese media reports in 2013, Chung Yu met a girl named Xiao Zi. When they first met, Chung Yu threw a pile of cash on the table and told her his company address and car plate number. Xiao Zi said she really thought he was from a wealthy family at that time. It's hard to imagine that someone with such sophisticated fraud techniques only had a middle school education. A few months later, a car accident when they were together exposed Chung Yu's true face. Xiao Zhu discovered that the luxury car he claimed was his was actually rented, and he didn't even have a driver's license. Chung Yu's mother even called Xiao Zi asking her to help pay the fine. This left her stunned. Chung Yu also asked her to let him stay, saying his mother had kicked him out and he had nowhere to go. Only then did Xiao Zi realize he had nothing. However, even so, he continued to use similar tactics to deceive people for money and love. First, he married a female Uber driver and swindled 500,000 new Taiwan dollars, approximately 16,000 USD. Then he married his current wife. However, her family became suspicious, confronted him with the police, discovered his numerous criminal records, and immediately filed for divorce. Additionally, a model surnamed Zhang in Taipei also made accusations at that time. She revealed that around Chinese New Year in 2016, Chung Yu had actively contacted her on Facebook to buy 3 phones, requesting a face-to-face transaction. However, she was abroad at the time and could only ask someone else to help. Unexpectedly, when Chung Yu saw she couldn't come, he immediately cancelled the transaction. Ms. Jiang said it was fortunate they didn't meet in person, as the consequences would have been unimaginable. Such a repeat offender who had harmed many people had now conspired to take a life. The couple, Liang Sihui and Chung Yu, were described by Taiwanese media as the vicious couple and murderous lovebirds. However, as the investigation deepened, a key piece of evidence revealed the truth of the case. On March 6th, after comparison, the police discovered that the woman initially thought to be Chen Naomi in the side door surveillance of the building was actually a female artist named Huang Jenny who lived in the Wangxiang building. Because it was the cold winter season in Taiwan at the time, people were all bundled up. Both women were artists who wore hats and masks when going out, and their figures were quite similar. The police didn't recognize this for a while and were misled by the suspect. To ensure no further mistakes, the police compared Chen Naomi's outfit when she left home with images from surveillance cameras near the crime scene. They discovered that the woman who entered the convenience store and building with Chung Yu was not Liang Sihui, but had always been Chen Naomi. Liang Sihui's mother, seeing her daughter attacked online, also sought ways to help. Fortunately, she found crucial evidence supporting her daughter's alibi. She checked a surveillance camera near their home and confirmed that her daughter was at home until 6:20 p.m. before leaving. However, strangely, Liang Sihui's phone location showed she was at the crime scene. Why was this? It turned out that Liang's phone had been lost on the day of her father's funeral. Upon investigation, the police discovered the phone wasn't actually lost, but had been stolen by Chung Yu. Furthermore, police found Chen Naomi's watch, phone case, and other personal items at Liang Sihui's home. When questioned, she said all these items were given to her by Chung Yu under various pretexts, and she knew nothing about their origin. As the investigation continued, the forensic team sampled shoe prints around the crime scene and found only Chung Yu's footprints, not Liang Sihui's. In the stairwell, police also found 2 face masks and an empty water bottle. Chung Yu said the masks were worn by him and Liang Sihui, and the water was bought by Liang at the convenience store. If this were true, Liang Sihui's DNA should have been present. At the time of the crime, Chung Yu said the handbag strap was also used to move the body. The police cut Chen Naomi's fingernails for DNA comparison. After 3 days of waiting, the test results finally revealed the truth. Among all the items tested, no DNA from Liang Sihui was found. This meant only Chung Yu was at the crime scene. So why did Chung Yu try to implicate Liang Sihui? Chung Yu was a frequent visitor to the police station, and this time he was suspected of intentional homicide. Therefore, he was likely to face severe punishment. However, compared to life imprisonment or the death penalty, being charged with instigating murder would reduce the sentence to less than 14 years. Thus, after committing the crime, Chung Yu consistently used Liang's texting style to reply to messages from the victim's family and friends, intending to make people think Liang Sihui was the culprit and he was just an accomplice in an attempt to reduce his sentence. Based on previous investigations, on June 20, 2017, the prosecutor from the Shilin District Prosecutor's Office stated that Chung Yu had repeatedly committed crimes without remorse and had malicious intentions. During his sentence, he would be unlikely to rehabilitate, so it was necessary to permanently isolate him from society. Therefore, they recommended the death penalty for Chung Yu. As for Liang Sihui, due to insufficient evidence of crime, she was exempt from prosecution. After confirming the prosecutor's stance, Liang immediately authorized a lawyer to apply for criminal compensation and received 20,000 new Taiwan dollars, approximately $650 USD in compensation on December 6, 2017. Her lawyer estimated that if she sued all the internet users who defamed her and won the case, she could receive up to 600 million new Taiwan dollars, approximately 19.5 million US dollars, in compensation. However, the final judgment of this case sparked a wave of public controversy. On July 10, 2018, the Shilin District Court sentenced Chung Yu to life imprisonment in the first trial. The reasons for not sentencing him to death were based on 2 points. The reasons for not sentencing Chung Yu to death were based on 2 points. Initially, Chung Yu only intended to rape Chen Naomi, but when the victim woke up midway and screamed, he feared being discovered and decided to kill her to silence her. Second, the method Chung Yu used to kill Chen Naomi was not considered particularly brutal. Regarding the suspect's continuous misleading of the police, the judge considered lying after the fact to be human nature. This verdict caused public outrage. Chung Yu escaped the death penalty and even laughed mockingly in court. The victim's family wept bitterly, declaring that even 100 death sentences wouldn't be enough for the murderer. They couldn't accept that the loss of their daughter was deemed not particularly brutal. The Chen family couldn't accept this judgment. Chen Naomi's father also stated that Liang Sihui was the mastermind behind the scenes. Although there was insufficient evidence, he believed she couldn't escape responsibility. In June 2020, during the appeal hearing at the High Court, Chung Yu requested a mental evaluation in an attempt to reduce his sentence. However, both the appeal and retrial courts rejected this request, maintaining the original verdict and stripping him of his civil rights for life. On October 15, the Supreme Court rejected the Chen family's appeal for the death penalty and decided to enforce the life imprisonment sentence. Although the trial of the case has concluded, it has left an indelible impact. First, the controversy surrounding Liang Zihui continues unabated. A few months after the incident, she changed her name and returned to the public eye, starting live streams on platforms and creating a new fan base. Faced with criticism from netizens, she choked back tears, saying she also loved Chen Naomi very much and missed her. When Chen Xialing, the victim's sister, heard about this, she posted a scathing rebuke, demanding that Liang Zihui stop deceiving and causing trouble. She said if Liang had any conscience left, she should stop talking about her sister. It's clear that the decision to exempt Liang Zihui from prosecution still infuriated the Chen family. Secondly, the systemic loopholes exposed by this case also sparked public dissatisfaction. According to statistics from the Ministry of Justice, in 2017, about 500 rape suspects in Taiwan were still at large, evading the law. Wang Weizhong, then a Taipei city councillor, also questioned the government's ultimate control measures. The health department also admitted that their enforcement power was insufficient and the disciplinary regulations were too lenient. The month of the incident coincided with International Women's Day, and Taiwanese women also called for stronger public power control in civil society. We know that judicial justice is the last line of defense in upholding social justice. Although the trial results of this case were not as expected, the fact that the perpetrator could repeatedly deceive people for money and love, and even take a life over several years, is inseparable from the imperfection of the social supervision mechanism. However, it's worth noting that after this case, Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense revised the criminal law, strengthening the sentencing for rape cases. That concludes our story for today. What are your thoughts on this case? Feel free to leave your comments below. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you in the next video.